The global entertainment industry is littered with the completely forgotten names of highly viral reality television contestants who briefly tasted massive international fame before completely vanishing into absolute obscurity. When an incredibly gifted vocalist named Matty Juniosa exploded onto the massive British broadcasting stage, millions of dedicated viewers instantly assumed he would permanently embrace his highly emotional television origins. However, a deeply strategic and highly dangerous master plan is currently unfolding completely behind the scenes. In a profoundly bold maneuver that is currently shocking massive corporate executives, he is actively executing a heavily calculated campaign to systematically erase his entire reality television history. Today, we are going completely behind the highly guarded industry curtain to investigate the terrifying financial risks, the brilliant psychological rebranding strategy, and the absolute ultimate truth regarding why he is intentionally destroying his viral past to secure his future. The reality television stigma in the industry. When an incredibly talented vocalist initially gains massive global recognition through a highly popular television broadcasting platform, they frequently become permanently trapped inside a highly restrictive commercial box. For Matty Juniosa, the initial explosive viral success achieved during his highly celebrated audition quickly transformed into a deeply concerning artistic liability. The notorious global music industry heavily stigmatizes reality television contestants, frequently labeling them as temporary karaoke singers rather than genuine, profoundly authentic recording artists. To completely secure long-term legendary status, he realized he desperately needed to execute a highly dangerous psychological rebrand. This strategic maneuver requires intentionally burning the very same commercial bridge that initially introduced him to millions of viewers, actively choosing to entirely erase his deeply televised origins to finally force the highly exclusive corporate gatekeepers to eventually take his original musical architecture completely seriously. The silent deletion of his digital footprint. The very first highly calculated phase of this massive rebranding master plan involved the incredibly quiet, systematic deletion of his previous digital identity. Dedicated international supporters recently began noticing that massive amounts of historical content explicitly linking him to his highly emotional television audition were slowly disappearing from his official social media platforms. By deliberately archiving old performance videos, completely removing specific television hashtags from his biography, and strictly refusing to continuously post nostalgic throwback content, he is actively manipulating the global search algorithms. This brilliant digital cleansing completely forces brand new international audiences to strictly discover him entirely as an independent, highly sophisticated musical artist, completely free from any preconceived notions or heavy emotional baggage deeply associated with the notoriously manufactured reality television broadcasting machine. Rejecting the manufactured television persona. During his highly emotional initial television exposure, corporate producers desperately attempted to permanently mold him into a highly specific, easily marketable commercial archetype designed strictly for maximum viewer manipulation. However, true artistic longevity absolutely requires profound authenticity, which heavily conflicts with the highly artificial narratives constantly pushed by massive broadcasting networks. By aggressively distancing himself from his highly publicized television past, he is completely reclaiming his absolute personal narrative. He categorically refuses to continuously play the specific role of the deeply grateful, highly emotional talent show contestant, firmly demanding to be globally recognized as a complex, highly intellectual creative force. This massive psychological shift is incredibly dangerous because it directly challenges the massive corporate authority of the television networks that initially provided him with his massive international platform. The massive financial risk of independence. Executing this profound level of aggressive industry rebranding carries an absolutely terrifying amount of immediate financial risk that would completely paralyze most emerging artists. By actively choosing to permanently sever his deep connections to the highly lucrative reality television ecosystem, he is intentionally walking away from incredibly easy commercial opportunities, highly guaranteed international touring revenue, and massively profitable corporate sponsorships strictly tied to his television identity. He is essentially choosing to completely rebuild his entire commercial empire from the absolute ground up, heavily relying strictly on the undeniable quality of his brand new original music.
This magnificent display of absolute artistic integrity proves that he values long-term critical respect and genuine musical legacy significantly more than securing a fast, highly temporary financial payout from exploitative television producers. Restructuring the management architecture. To properly successfully navigate this incredibly treacherous transitional period, he has completely overhauled his entire behind-the-scenes management architecture. Emerging reality television stars are frequently forced to immediately sign deeply restrictive, highly exploitative management contracts directly controlled by the television network affiliates. By aggressively breaking free from these highly suffocating corporate chains, he has successfully surrounded himself with a brand new, incredibly ruthless team of independent music industry sharks. These highly experienced strategic advisors completely understand the profound necessity of heavily distancing his brand from the television circuit. Together, they are meticulously plotting a highly sophisticated mainstream invasion, treating him not as a former television contestant, but as a heavily guarded, incredibly valuable premium musical asset completely ready to dominate the massive global streaming charts. The evolution of his sonic identity. The absolute core foundation of this massive rebranding masterplan relies entirely upon a fundamental, completely radical evolution of his specific sonic identity. Television audiences completely fell in love with his ability to deliver highly dramatic, incredibly powerful vocal covers of universally recognized popular songs. However, completely securing profound industry respect requires heavily pivoting toward highly original, deeply experimental musical composition. He is currently spending thousands of unseen hours locked inside highly secretive recording studios, actively collaborating with deeply respected underground producers to forge a completely unique, highly contemporary sound.
This brand new musical direction intentionally sounds absolutely nothing like his massive television performances, specifically designed to completely shock his existing audience and violently demand the immediate, absolute attention of serious global music critics. Navigating the alienation of early supporters. One of the most incredibly terrifying aspects of completely erasing a highly viral past is the very real, massive threat of severely alienating the deeply dedicated core fanbase that initially launched his entire career. Millions of international viewers heavily connected with his specific television narrative and constantly expect him to continuously recreate that exact same emotional experience. By aggressively pivoting toward a deeply sophisticated, highly independent artistic identity, he completely risks completely losing massive amounts of those early, highly sentimental supporters. However, this is a heavily calculated, absolutely necessary sacrifice. He profoundly understands that actively shedding the casual reality television viewers is the absolute only way to successfully cultivate a significantly more militant, deeply loyal audience that will heavily support his original artistic vision for decades to come. Forcing the gatekeepers to pay attention. The deeply exclusive, incredibly snobbish upper echelons of the global music industry completely despise acknowledging the massive cultural power of reality television. Powerful radio executives, massive streaming playlist curators, and highly influential magazine editors typically permanently ignore artists heavily associated with those specific broadcasting platforms. By executing this incredibly aggressive, highly public rebrand, Matty is actively forcing these massive corporate gatekeepers to completely reevaluate their heavily prejudiced opinions. When they completely realize that he has successfully survived outside the heavily protected television bubble and is currently producing undeniably brilliant original music, they will be completely forced to finally grant him the absolute highest level of premium industry access that is typically permanently reserved for highly connected, traditionally developed mainstream artists, cultivating an aura of premium mystery. In an incredibly oversaturated digital era where massive celebrities constantly overshare every single microscopic detail of their personal lives, he is brilliantly utilizing the ultimate weapon of profound silence. By actively completely refusing to constantly discuss his highly viral television origins in massive international press interviews, he is successfully cultivating an incredibly intoxicating aura of premium mystery. This highly deliberate information blackout creates a massive vacuum of public knowledge, completely forcing dedicated fans and massive entertainment journalists to intensely focus strictly on his brand new artistic endeavors. This highly sophisticated psychological manipulation transforms him from a completely accessible, highly transparent television personality into a deeply mysterious, incredibly intriguing musical enigma that the entire global industry desperately wants to completely understand. The ultimate endgame of legendary status. Ultimately, this breathtaking strategic erasure of his massively famous television past is completely driven by an absolute, deeply unwavering hunger for true legendary status. He fundamentally completely understands that absolute true musical icons are never permanently defined by the specific platform that initially discovered them. They are strictly defined by the massive cultural impact of their entirely original artistic creations. This incredibly risky, highly complex rebranding master plan is the absolute ultimate test of his profound psychological resilience. If he successfully completes this massive industry transition, he will completely shatter the notorious reality television curse forever, permanently establishing himself as a globally respected, deeply influential musical powerhouse who brilliantly manipulated the entire corporate broadcasting system to completely achieve his absolute ultimate artistic freedom.